So the next topic that we will be doing today is about Harshvardhan and Harshcharitra. Now as you can see, I have made a flowchart for you that would be very easy to understand. Now when we talk about Harsha or Harshvardhan, he belonged to the Gupta Empire, as we have spoken about Chandragupta of the Gupta Empire, Chandragupta I and his mother Kumaradevi. So now when we talk about Harshvardhan and Harshcharitra, now Harshcharitra is the biography of Harshvardhan. So let's see, Harshcharitra ruled for over 1400 years. Now when he ruled for 1400 years, his rule was very magnificent and it is all written in his biography, that is Harshcharitra in Sanskrit, and written by his court poet Banabhat. Now court poet means the one who is in the court and writes about in his kingdom and writes about all the work of the king, his rule, his about his kingdom, about the people, about the economic status of the kingdom, and so on. So it was written, Harshcharitra was written in Sanskrit and by Banabhat, his court poet. Now when Harshcharitra, not even Harshcharitra written by Banabhat, but even Xuanzang, as you know, Xuanzang was also a great, he was a traveler. He wrote travelogues. He was from China and had written about different kings in his travelogue. Now when we come to the next part, that is about Harshvardhana becoming a king. Now he first ruled, was a king of Thanesar. Now as you know that Harsha was not only the eldest son of his father, but he also became the king of Thanesar after both his father and brother died. Then his brother-in-law was ruler of Kannauj, and after that he was killed by the ruler of Bengal. And Harsha took over Kannauj and led a huge army against the ruler of Bengal. Now although he was very successful, he conquered a lot of all the different parts of India, east, and also conquered Magad, Bengal. But when he tried to cross the river Narmada, he was stopped by a Chalukya ruler named as Pulkeshin II. So he was, after the death of his father and his brother, he became the king of Thanesar and later he became the king of Kannauj. And he captured a lot of places all around like Bengal and Magad. But after that, when he tried to cross Narmada, the Narmada river, as you know, he was stopped by the Chalukyan ruler, that is Pulkeshin II. So the next I will be talking about is Pallava, Chalukya and Pulkeshin's Prashastis. Now we already have studied about Prashastis in the previous chapter, and in the first video also I have made you understand what is a Prashasti. So Prashasti means praise. Now Chalukya's ruler Pulkeshin Prashasti, from what we come to know about his genealogy, about his kingdom from his Prashastis. Now when we talk about Pallava and Chalukya, they were the kingdom that were in southern India. They were the southern kingdom of southern India, where Pallava's capital was Kanchipuram. And when we talk about Chalukya, his capital was Ayur. And that is a place. Before that, it was the Raichur Doab. Now when we talk about what is a Doab, Doab is a place that is kind of a delta, the land between the two rivers. Now here when we talk about the Raichur Doab, here it means the land between the Krishna and the Tungabhadra river. And his capital later became Ayur. Now Pulkeshin, who was a great ruler of the Chalukya, who defeated Harsha or Harshvardhan. Now, when Harshvardhan, as I spoke before, when he came to capture the Narbada, when he tried to cross the Narbada, he was stopped by Pulkeshin too, who was a Chalukya ruler. Now, Chalukyas, there was also that the Pulkeshin's Prashastis were written by Ravikirti. Now, he was the poet of Pulkeshin, who wrote about his genealogy, about his Prashasti, about whatever, the different praises about the king. Now, it is said once, a very sarcastic line has been said that there is an interesting play in words of the poem written by that. Harsha means happiness, yes, it means being happy. And the poet says that when Pulkeshin defeated Harsha or Harshvardhan, he was no longer Harsha, that means he was no longer happy. Now, all these, when we come to know about the Chalukyas, the Pallavas, Chalukyas, the Pulkeshin Prashastis, in all, when they started capturing, even the Prashastis tell us about his ancestors. The Ravikirti in his Prashastis of Pulkeshin has written about his ancestors, his genealogy. And he even have written about his expeditions that went all along from west to the east coast. Now, when we talk about his Prashastis that went along from the west and the east coast, after that, after the Pulkeshins, there was a lot of the Pallavas and the Chalukyas. They were the rulers of the southern India before the Rashtrakutas and the Cholas. After that, the Rashtrakutas and the Cholas defeated them, and that you will be learning in class 7 about the tripartite struggle. That is the very second chapter, where you come to know about the fight between the southern kingdoms, the tripartite struggle, about the three struggle, that is about the Chera, Cholas, Pandyas, that is, and the Rashtrakutas was among the Rashtrakutas and the Cholas and the Pandyas became the tripartite struggle. So that we will learn in class 7th. So let's talk about the administration. Now, how was the administration carried out? Now, when we talk about administration, land revenue was the most important part of the administration. That was land revenue taxes that were collected. Now, after that, there was some more important posts that were given to men. There were some new developments that the king adopted, number of steps that were taken to win the support of men in the kingdom. Now, for that instance, some important administrative posts were hereditary. Now, like for example, the poet Harisena was a Mahadandnayak or chief judicial officer like his father. So that means whatever the father's position is, the son will also be at the same position, that is carried out hereditary. The next was about one person held many offices. That means one person can be the chief judicial officer also, he can be a Kumar Amatya also, that means an important minister. So he can carry more than one position in the kingdom. Beside that, there were some important positions that were given to some important men in the kingdom. For example, they include Nagar Shreshti or the chief banker or merchant of the city, or the leader of the merchant caravans, and there were so many different other positions that were given, like the chief craftsman and the head of the scribes. Now, apart from these important positions that were given to common people in the kingdom to gain their support and to prove themselves, who were powerful and economically and socially because of their political and military strength. Now, apart from that, when all these positions were given to them, there were some important men, or where they had the important position in the society, in the kingdom, they grew even more stronger with so many different powerful positions under their control. So because of that, later they broke into different independent kingdoms, and they were the kings or the rulers of those different independent kingdoms.